Students, today I am going to explain the concept of hypothetic basic computer. So starting with how to design hypothetic basic computer. For this purpose we need some hardware components. So it is consist with first memory unit. So this memory unit is consist with 4096 words of 16-bit each. Means this memory unit is having 4096 memory location and the size of each memory location is 16 bits. Second, it required 9 registers: address register, program counter, data register, accumulator, IR, instruction register, temporary register, output register, input register, and 4 stores of carry. It also required 7 flip-flop: ISER, interrupt enable, FGI and FGO, flag input and flag output related interrupts. And it also required 2 decoders. One is operation decoder, that is 3:8, and second one is timing decoder, that is 4:16. It also used a 16-bit common bus. This 16-bit common bus is used to interface the processor with the various registers and memory. It also used control logic gates, and output of these control logic gates are used to control the various outputs of memory, registers, accumulator design, and so on. Adder and logic circuit connected to the input of AC. So it provides 3 kinds of inputs that is connected to the adder logic circuit, and it gives a final output that is connected to the accumulator as an input. So this is the functional block diagram of hypothetic basic computer. In this case, this 16-bit processor is connected with memory with this system buses. We are using this 16-bit common bus system that is connected with the memory, and this memory consists with 4096 words, and the size of each word is 16-bit. And it also connected with read and write. When this read is enabled, it means the processor is reading the information from memory. When this write signal is enabled, then CPU or your processor is write the information on the memory. It also receives the information from input device and process it, and after processing the information it produces the result, and that is display on the output device. It also receiving the commands and controlling the power on reset circuit and clock. Clock is used to synchronize the system with memory and other input output peripheral devices. This is the classification of hypothetic basic computer. The basic computer has 3 main units. First is control unit, memory unit, and many registers. A memory unit that is consists with 4096 words of each 16-bit each for basic computer, and it has 8 registers: accumulator, program counter, data register, address register, instruction register, temporary register, input register, and output register. And it also used a bus, that is also known as a path, to transfer the data from one register to another register to complete a processing sequence in a digital computer. So this is the first unit of basic computer, that is control unit. It consists with 3 main sections. First one is decoder, and second is instruction register, and third is sequence counter. And all these output from this decoder and instruction register is connected to the control logic gate as a inputs, and other inputs are also like accumulator inputs and data register inputs are connected to this control logic gates. We are using this 16-bit instruction register, and these bits 0 to 11 12-bit address is provide the physical address to this control logic gates, and bit 12, 13, 14 are used as a operation code. These operation codes are converted by this decoder. So this decoder will receive the binary code from bit number 12, 13, 14 and convert and decode into D0 to D7, which is further is connected to the control logic gates. And this bit 15 of the instruction register is transferred to the flip flop that is represented as a I, and bit 0 to 11 are applied to the control logic gates. The 4-bit sequence counter can count in binary from 0 to 15. The output of the counter, the output of this sequence counter are decoded into 16 timing signal that is represented as T0 to T15. So this is the basic functionality of control unit. So after receiving various inputs, this control logic gate generates various control signals. So first it generates signals to control the inputs of the 9 registers. Second, it generates the signals to control the read and write input of memory. Third, it generates the signals to set, clear or complement the flip-flop. Fourth, it generates the signals for S2, S1 and S0 to select a register for the bus. Fifth, it generates a signal to control the accumulator and logic circuit. So this control output is used for various purposes. Next is the interfacing of register and memory of basic computer to a 16-bit common bus system. So this is the basic interface diagram, how we can interface this 16-bit common bus with various registers and memory. So for this purpose we need two kinds of data lines. One is your data input line. These data inputs lines are used to connect the 16-bit common bus information to the input of these registers and memory, and these output data lines are used to transfer the information from memory or these various registers to this 16-bit common bus. And the selection of these registers and memory at the source end is depend on this multiplexer combination inputs S2, S1, S0, and the destination register selection is depend on this 3:8 decoder, and this decoder is enable disable is depend on this E input. If E is equal to 0, then this decoder is disable. If E is equal to 1, this decoder is enable. So after enable, it select particular destination register with the help of these combination of ABC. If ABC is 0001, then it select D1 address register, and after this load input is enabled, when this load input is enabled, then it receive the content from this 16-bit common bus. Similarly, it perform other operations according to the combinations of ABC inputs of this 3:8 decoder, and the selection of these registers is depend on the multiplexer input. This multiplexer inputs S2, S1, S0 will select a specific register or memory and produce the content of that selected memory onto the bus. For example, if S2, S1, S0 is 111, it select memory unit and produce its content on the 16-bit common bus. So this is the basic functionality of 16-bit common bus. In the previous slide we have discussed it. The next is the function of decoder in 16-bit bus. At the source end, we are using this multiplexer for the selection of source register. You can see in the diagram. We are using this multiplexer S2, S1, S0 selection inputs for the selection of register at the source end, and the destination end we are using this decoder. The decoder activate the load control of the destination register with the help of these combinations A, B, C. If E is equal to 0, decoder is disabled and no data will be received from the bus even the data is available on the bus. If E is equal to 0, this decoder is disabled. As decoder is disabled, your load function is disabled and it will not receive any data from the 16-bit common bus. If E is equal to 1, decoder select destination register to receive the data from the bus. For example, when ABC is equal to 001, the address register is selected to receive the data from the bus. When this ABC is 0001, then it decode in D1 and this address register, this load function is enabled and it receive the data from this internal bus. Next is the function of multiplexer in 16-bit bus. We are using this multiplexer for the selection of particular register or memory and produce the content of that selected memory onto the bus. So we are using these three selection lines S2, S1, S0 and it produce specific register selection, and after that selecting the particular register it produce the content of that register into the bus. We are using three control line S2, S1, S0 for controlling purpose. The multiplexer select one of the source register to place its data on the bus. The S2, S1, S0 select any one of the register or memory unit and transfer all the n bit of selected register or memory location on the common bus. If the signal is received 0001 on the multiplexer end, then it select address register and then it transfer the content of address register onto the common bus. Next is the data movement among registers and memory using bus. We are using this bus for transferring the content of memory or various register into the bus or into the registers. We are using two kinds of data lines, data input line and data output lines. With the help of data input lines, we are connected these data input line with 6 registers D1, D2, D3, D5, D6 and D7. The bus lines are connected to the data inputs of 6 register: address register, program counter, data register, instruction register, temporary register, output register and memory. And with the help of data output lines, the 16 lines of the common bus receive information from memory, address register, program counter, data register, accumulator, instruction register and temporary register. Starting with the first example, when the selection inputs S3, S2, S1, we are considering S3, S2, 1, but in the block diagram is control selections are represented by S0, S1, S2. It is a small mistake, avoid it. So when these control signals are 1, 1, 1 is applied to this bus, so it select memory unit and then data transfer take place between memory and the bus. It enable read and write functions according to the content available from the address register. When this read signal is active, then it receive the read command from the CPU and CPU read the memory. If write is enabled, then this information from the internal bus is write onto the memory unit. So this is the explanation of write and read input. When these inputs are activate, so during the write the information write onto the memory, during the read the CPU read the information from memory through this command. address register. When the selection inputs S3, S2, S1, 0001 is applied to the bus, means 0001 according to this S0, S1, S2 is 001, it means it selected address register and it enable the communication between address register and common bus. So after this it transfer the addresses onto the bus. Similarly, this address register receive the content from this 16-bit common bus when this load input is enabled. Similarly, in case of program counter, when this signal is 010, then this program counter is selected and transfer the data to the bus. Similarly, this program counter receives the data from the bus when this load input is enabled. When this signal is 00011, then data register is selected and the data is transferred onto the bus, and similarly this data register is receive the data from the bus when this load input is enabled, and then instruction register is selected when this condition is happened 101. When the control signals on the selection line is 101, then it select instruction register and place the data, means it place the instruction code onto the bus. Similarly, it receive the instruction code from the common bus when this load input is activated or enabled. Now the next function of the accumulator register is selected when the selection input combination inputs are 1000. Then processor register accumulator is selected for transferring the data onto the bus. This accumulator receives 16-bit input data from this adder logic circuit. This adder logic circuit receive the three sets of kinds of data. It receives 16-bit data from the output of this accumulator. You can see that in the diagram. This adder logic circuit receives the 16-bit data from this output of accumulator. Second, it receives the 16-bit data from this data register, and third is it receives 8-bit data from this input register. This circuit has three sets of input. One set of 16 input come from the output of accumulator. This output of accumulator is used as for implementing the micro operations like complement, rotation, increment, decrement, and similarly in the second set of 16-bit is received from the data register, and this will be used for adding the content, subtracting the content, or logical operations between the registers. And third is set of 8-bit input come from this input register, that is for loading the content into the processor. Next, temporary register is selected when this selection input is 110. Then this temporary register is selected and then it transfer the temporary data onto the bus, and similarly it receive the data from this common bus when this load input is enabled. And next two registers are input register and output register. Output register receives the data. This output register is received the data from the common bus when this load input is enabled. Similarly, this input register receives the data from the input device and it is always immediately available to the ALU. This adder logic are for the further final function. Next is the design of accumulator logic. So this is the basic block diagram of accumulator design. In this case, you can see this adder logic circuit which is received the three sets of input. First, it receives the output of accumulator, that is a 16-bit data. Second, it receives the 16-bit code from data register, and third, it receives the 8-bit data from input register. So after combining these input, it produces a final output with the help of this control logic that is given to the accumulator as a data inputs. These control logics gates are used to control the data of this accumulator with the help of load, this increment and clear, and produce the output, and that produced output is connected to this adder and logic circuit. This is the one set of 16-bit input come from the output of this accumulator. You can see the diagram. And second is a second set of 16-bit input come from the data register, and third is 8-bit come from the input register. The output of adder and logic circuit provide the data input for the register. In addition, it is necessary to include the logic gates for controlling the load, increment and clear input in the register and controlling the operation of adder and logic circuit. In order to design of accumulator logic, it is necessary to go over the register transfer statement. We have three kinds of register transfer statement. In first statement, it performing the AND operation between the accumulator with the content of data register. In the second, it performing the addition operation between the accumulator and data register. In the third, it directly transfer the content of data register into the accumulator. In all the statement, the content of accumulator is replaced after the operation. So this is the basic design of accumulator logic. Thank you, students.